From an edible survivor to foreshadowing the next Resident Evil remake. Here's 30 secrets, Easter eggs, and amazing details in Resident Evil Requiem. I'm gonna be as vague as I can regarding the story, but there will be a few spoilers here. Let's do this. The first thing I do in any video game is stand perfectly still to see what happens when the characters go idle. And this gives us our first Easter egg. Leon will eventually do this. He's known for his luscious hair, yet this is the animation from another Capcom game, Devil May Cry, when Virgil slicked his hair back. Capcom love referencing their other games, and more can be found in the RPD. After 28 years, Leon returns to Raccoon City, and things have changed a great deal. And if your memory serves you right, this run to the police station is identical to the one we made in Resident Evil 2, every step of it. Inside the station, there is a locker we cannot open without a key. To do this, we need to find 2 clues left by Barry Burton, which direct us to a locker key hidden here. And by using that key on the locker, we can find a host of gaming memorabilia. A poster for Street Fighter Alpha, plus there's the disc version here alongside Mega Man, and somehow the original Resident Evil game is here. I have no idea why, but I love it. Now look at the game's console. Does anyone recognize it? I think it's this. A Sega Saturn. The machine that sadly started the decline of Sega is now immortalized in Resident Evil, alongside Capcom's back catalogue. Oh, and even the name on the locker is an Easter egg. Put in the original 1998 game, it's Joseph's locker, who was quite bizarre. So in other words, it's a nod to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and back in 1998 they were working on that video game alongside Resident Evil 2. Oh, and on the way to the station, we go past Arika's. It's totally falling to pieces, but it's still here somehow, and this is another Capcom nod to itself. Flip the world around and it reads Sakura, and that's another fighter in Street Fighter. Probably the greatest Easter egg in Requiem is found in the same place. After completing either the locker puzzle or grabbing the jack, be sure to revisit this section of the RPD and keep your eyes peeled for this. That really was a chunk of Tofu wearing a Stars beret. He can pop up in 4 locations here, always on the outside, trying not to be spotted. Of course, we all tried to shoot him to hear his voice. Tofu was a playable character in Resident Evil 2 after being part of the development cycle. Devs were checking the hitboxes and general collision of characters and thought that nothing takes damage better than a stick of tofu, and the rest is history. Over to the care center now, where we stumble across a roulette table. Players discovered that the wheel is fully functional. By shooting a number, we can take part in a little gambling. And if you win, you get an antique coin as a reward. Well, it's not fully functional actually, as the wheel can only land on 3 specific numbers. 7, 15, 29, which looked to me that this could be a Capcom future date being hinted at, the 15th of July 2029. I'm totally guessing now, but what if this is the date another Resident Evil game releases, and we're finding out 3 years early? And speaking of cheeky foreshadowing, in the nearby bar area, take the time to look at the wines and spirits on the wall, and you'll see Averinko. Let's try decipher this code. Switch a few letters around, and it spells out Veronica. It's widely believed Code Veronica will be the next Resident Evil remake coming soon, featuring amazing lines like this.
I'll be sure to keep you entertained before I dispose of you.
Well, let's go deeper into this. During the section in which we play as a child, you know the bit where this happens. Take the time to look out for these toys. They look innocent, don't they? Well, what if I said these represent the OG Resident Evil and Resident Evil 0? I'd say this looks like the Spencer Mansion from the first game, and that starts out with 4 characters running into the mansion: Jill, Chris, Barry, and Wesker. And nearby we have a train, which is where Resident Evil 0 takes place, alongside another member of the squad, Rebecca. These could be subtle nods for superfans, or could this be foreshadowing for the future? What's your guess? Let's talk about Rebecca for a second. A long-running secret in Resident Evil games is Albert Wesker's obsession with the gun-toting medic. And in each game, he keeps a secret photo of her. I don't know why. In the original, we had to search his desk 50 times to find a roll of film, and in the remake, we developed another picture of her. In Requiem, visit Wesker's office and try to open his drawer. There's nothing there, but wait a few seconds, and lo and behold, this happens. It directs us to the library. Inside the book Wesker was using is another picture of Rebecca. There's another step to this one. On the back it reads Rising Rookie Rebecca, and back in the Star's office we can go to Wesker's briefcase and use those 3 R's to unlock the case, and inside is a charm which is none other than Wesker's shades.
Wesker, you are alive.
So we're back in the RPD again. Look around and you'll find a very skinny zombie trying to get into the vending machine. This is another callback to RE2, and the first time we walked through here as Leon, the same zombie was there trying to get into this machine. He was much younger and rounder back then, but he's still at it 28 years later. He didn't even get a haircut in that time. Another long-running Easter egg is thanks to the Welcome Leon sign we can now find on the ground. In 1998, this sign read Welcome with 2 L's instead of 1, as this was translated from Japanese into English. And to make a joke of that extra L, in the remake we could find it pulled down and placed on a desk. Now in 2026, Requiem has the same sign, and it's been repurposed by Chris Redfield himself to say Leon, we come. And yeah, the extra L is still in the office. So Leon drives a couple of vehicles in Requiem. First we arrive in his new Porsche, but before we all get jealous, take a look at his number plate, and in particular those numbers, 2469. If we turn these into Resident Evil mainline games, it's a list of all the games with Leon in. 2 in Raccoon City, 4 in that pseudo-Spanish village, 6 in the game where he offs the president. Make your own joke about that one in 2026. And finally 9, this game, Requiem. The other vehicle he rides is a motorcycle, and he's got some really good stunt work going on. It was revealed though that this chase scene is in homage to a Resident Evil movie, one of the animated ones, Vendetta. And yeah, honestly, some of the shots are almost identical.
Pups could use more training.
And another movie is given a little love too. During the fight with the tyrant, Leon can go through this. That move is taken directly from Damnation, another nod for the Super RE fans out there. And speaking of boss fights, one of them has us face off with an unidentified special ops soldier, who the fans are certain is Hunk, a much loved character from 30 years ago. He's been around in the shadows for years, and now he finally faces Leon head on. And should Leon fail a QTE event, this happens. A neck snap for the ages.
Target neutralized.
And of course, this lines up perfectly with Hunk's preferred finishing move in his last few outings. Things get more interesting now. When defeated, Hunk's body shows signs of Raccoon City Syndrome, which confirms he was here in 1998. Once again, pretty much confirming it's Hunk. And unlike other boss characters that once we face, we can go and visit anytime and they stay exactly where we left them, returning to the soldier a few minutes later reveals he has totally vanished. So Hunk's story is not over yet. I guess we wait for the DLC. There are countless callbacks to other Resident Evil properties, so let's do a speed round after we look at the awesome jiggle physics on the Chunk character model. I love jiggle physics. Alright, I'm done. Callbacks. In the opening gameplay segment, Grace can accidentally walk into a character wearing a fedora and overcoat. We didn't know it at the time, but this was foreshadowing that the tyrant will return. Also on that same walk, some of the NPCs will be wearing the same clothes as Ethan from Resident Evil 7 and 8, and that's just as forgettable as he was back then. When Leon reaches the care center, a very deliberate shot zooms in on the brown double doors, paying homage to the very first game in the 90s. Back then, this was the first time we entered the mansion, which began the Resident Evil saga. And also a nod to the loading screens we all went through for hours back then. Super subtle nods include Leon passing the petrol station he first met Claire at before the Raccoon City incident. And there's his old ride, a Jeep. He's now upgraded to a Porsche. And one more amazing little callback. The book the blind girl is reading is in Braille, so we couldn't understand what it was. Well, people cleverer than I deciphered that this book is the same story from the opening of Resident Evil 8 Village. A super scary book for a child. And finally, probably the biggest secret in the game. After completing the game, Leon will take off his gloves and walk away. Yet look closer and we see he immediately puts on a wedding ring. Has Leon settled down? Well, jump into the concept art and we can confirm it. Leon S. Kennedy is married. What a bombshell. So I'll leave you with one question. Who is Leon married to? Could it be Claire Redfield? Or perhaps it's Ada Wong? Or someone else completely? What do you think? I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.